Cruise news time, and sadly it's not all puppy dogs and rainbows on the show today. It's about cruise cancellations, Royal, Norwegian, Dream Cruises, canceling cruises, and it's affecting people right now. Cruise news, let's talk about it. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Lido, Loca. I'm your host, Tony, here with the latest cruise news updates. Welcome back to the show. Welcome to the show. It is the 5th of January, 2022, and man, the hits keep rolling on. Again, the cruise news today, not that exciting, but important cruise news for people to know because there are people impacted. And so let me take a little moment at the beginning of the show just to lay it out there. Yesterday's show was pretty contentious. The comments were interesting. I was accused of not caring about people and, sending people to their impending doom by suggesting they cruise. And then I was also called a fearmonger, that I was creating cruise hesitancy. And in both of those situations, I would say that those people didn't watch the show. If you're somebody who comments and it's clear that you did not watch the show, then your comment holds very little credence with myself and probably with most people reading it. Here's the thing I don't understand in the community. Look, there's a lot of great comments out there, but then there's people that make comments that are so illogical or so far off the mark that you can't imagine that they're trying to persuade someone. I assume that that's why you would make your argument, because you want to persuade someone. But man, do the homework. I just responded to a comment where somebody referenced flattening the curve in 15 days. If you're still living like it's March of 2020, then you're way off. There's no way that you can live in January of 2022 like it's March of 2020. And so it's a waste of time to type that kind of comment, because people are looking at that like, well, this person lives 2 years in the past. What? I don't want to listen to anything this person says because they're living 2 years in the past. That's one example. And then another example is it's really easy to understand how the vaccines work. It's amazing to me to see somebody go, well, there's cases on cruises that are primarily vaccinated, must mean the vaccine doesn't work. That comment in itself is so devoid of any kind of understanding what the vaccines do that, again, you're not winning the hearts and minds with that. And look, I've got to read all of these comments, so help me out. When you're commenting, just be informed. It's not that hard to be up to date on the latest when it comes to the vaccine. I know I chose this life. I chose to read all of these. You can easily be informed. And if you're uninformed, why put it out there? You're not going to win the hearts and minds. Okay. How about that? It's that kind of cruise news day today because the stories are not good, but let's just jump into it. There are thousands of people stuck on a cruise ship in Hong Kong on the Royal Caribbean Spectrum of the Seas because somebody on land was connected to a super spreader event in Hong Kong, and then that person was connected to somebody on the cruise ship, and 9 close contacts have been identified on the cruise ship, and so they've been taken off the cruise ship, taken off the Spectrum of the Seas to be tested, and then everybody else that's on the Spectrum of the Seas have to be tested before they are allowed to leave. It is ramping up in Hong Kong. Hong Kong shutting down a lot of international travel, shutting down a lot of airlines, and it is resulting in Royal Caribbean canceling the next sailing of the Spectrum of the Seas. That sailing is supposed to go out today on the 6th of January. It is canceled, and we'll continue to watch and see if the next sailings go. But Hong Kong really trying to push back against the Omicron surge, and so they're really locking down some things that they've been allowing to go forward, and they're really good with their contact tracing. Like I said, they identified an event on land, they contact traced that to somebody on the cruise ship, and then they started working on the cruise ship. Now, Dream Cruises also operating out of Hong Kong, also operating cruises to nowhere. They've canceled the cruise that was supposed to happen yesterday, January the 5th, and their January the 7th cruise to nowhere on their cruise ships, kind of getting in line to what's going on as the local government there in Hong Kong kind of clamps down and tries to snuff out snuff out this Omicron surge. We saw cruising in Brazil shut down yesterday. There's cruises in South America that have shut down, and now we have cruises in Hong Kong shutting down. Nothing in the U.S. As far as a mass cruise shutdown going on, but we are seeing some cruise cancellations. Those were the big stories that popped off last night. First, a very interesting story. The Norwegian Pearl, I got a letter from somebody on board the Norwegian Pearl saying that they were canceling their cruise during the cruise. It was an 11-day cruise, and on day 2 they have canceled, citing COVID amongst the crew, and they're returning back to Miami to disembark everybody off that cruise ship. Everybody's getting a full cruise refund. They're giving some other perks, but they decided early on in that cruise that they could not continue with the case counts that they had amongst the crew. This could be a real challenge, right? If Omicron is running wild through some of the crew, eventually you're going to have not enough crew to run the cruise ship. And so this could be the case when it comes to the Pearl. So the Pearl is canceling. They're bringing people back to Miami to disembark them. And then another Norwegian cruise ship, the Norwegian Getaway, set to leave Miami today. That cruise was canceled yesterday. Passengers receiving emails and letters saying that their cruise was canceled because of COVID-related circumstances. And the bummer thing about the short cancellation notice on the Getaway is there are people that have already traveled from their hometown to Miami. So I know there are some people in that circumstance. Norwegian Pearl, Norwegian Getaway, both canceled. I would love to hear in the comments, did you get canceled? Do you feel like you were fairly compensated? There's a whole list of compensation. Go check that out if you are affected. And it seems like Norwegian's doing what they can to treat these people well, but it does sound like a circumstance where you could be running into a situation where you can't run the cruise ship because of challenges with the crew. Now, I've got one more cruise news story to share with you, and I want to ask you a question about what do you think's right and fair during this COVID time, and we'll have that discussion at the end. But first, let me invite you to subscribe. If you like staying up to date with everything that's going on in cruising, please consider subscribing with the notification bell on. That way you don't miss out on any of these episodes. Welcome to all the new members of the Loca fam. Certainly excited to have you here. Please consider subscribing with the notification bell on. Thank you in advance. There's a few more things to cover. Please don't leave. You're going to miss out on the good stuff. I have a big announcement about a special show coming up this week with a special guest. How's that for a tease? First and foremost, Royal Caribbean extending its updated masking policy. Just a few weeks ago, they came out and said that a mask would be required everywhere indoors, including vaccinated areas. This was a change for Royal Caribbean. You could take off your mask in vaccinated only areas. That was set forth to go out to the 15th of January. They've now extended that until the end of the month. So for the whole month of January, the masking policy that was just laid out by Royal Caribbean will be for the whole month of January. And now let me ask you this, and this could be an interesting debate, a debate that's been raging in my mind. We have seen that some cruise ships have been turned away from cruise ports in the near past over the last few weeks. And we've heard that when you get turned away from a cruise port, that you receive some money back. You get your port fees back. When you book your cruise, you pay for port fees. Now, we've also heard at the same time that some cruise lines have had to do away with entertainment because some of the entertainment staff have been unable to perform. And so my question is this, and I believe that in some circumstances people have been getting OBC, onboard credit, that kind of thing, but should there be a policy that says if you cannot enjoy the entertainment on the cruise ship, you should get some sort of financial compensation? I could argue it both ways. Let me argue it for the no, you should not get compensation. You're cruising during a pandemic, and you know that things could be disrupted, and you know that things could change. If you don't know that, then obviously you haven't been watching the show very long, and again, if you don't know that, open up your ears right now. If you're cruising right now, you could be subject to disruption and change. And so I would say that if you get on a cruise ship knowing that you could be subject to disruption and change, then I don't even think you should get money back for missed ports. How about that? Because you could say, well, you should get the money back because you paid a port fee. Well, you also paid for entertainment. Your cruise fare includes not only your lodging, but your food, but also onboard entertainment. So I would argue that you should get some of that money back. But if you're cruising right now and you know the risk going on the cruise, you should get nothing. Zero, zilch, nada. right? Not even the port fee. That could be one argument. But if you want to argue, yes, you should get some compensation, some money. My argument would be, look, I paid my cruise price, which includes entertainment. You did not deliver on the entertainment. You were happy to give me money back when I missed the port. Why are you not giving me money back when I miss my entertainment? That would be my for argument. Let me kick it over to you. If you miss your nightly entertainment, should they be cutting you back some money or should they not? Leave a comment below. And now let me close the show out with what I think are two very big announcements. First and foremost, we've had people in the locafam ordering the eMed test from the eMed site. They just got the test in and the expiration date is November of 2022. So it sounds like there's a fresh batch in there. I can't guarantee that the test will be that far out on the expiration, but I can share with you anecdotal evidence from multiple people from our live stream last night that said, yes, I just ordered the eMed test and the expiration date November 2022. That reminds me, I've got to order some eMed tests for my cruise next month. And then big announcement coming up on Thursday, 6 p.m. Eastern time, I will be interviewing Matt from the Royal Caribbean blog. We'll be doing a live stream together from 6 to 7. We'll be talking cruise news. We'll be talking Royal Caribbean. We'll be taking your questions. So make sure you mark your calendar to come watch another live presentation from Lido, Loca with myself and Matt from the Royal Caribbean blog. Boom! That's your cruise news. You know what to do in the comments. Thank you so much for checking out the show today. Show your support by hitting the like button, or when you're opening your mail today and you're doing it with your index finger, you're gonna get a paper cut. I hate for it to be like that. I hate for it to be something physical, but that's the risk you run when you're opening the mail. Did you get a special offer from Princess for the casino? I might have. I cut my finger though. Thank you. This is Tony with Lido Loca, and until the next time, we'll see you on the Lido. Why do paper cuts hurt so much? Bye.